new songs are good, I'm told. The rhymes are slow, they don't match the beat. It's freestyle. Hey, point the camera at my feet. Hi, Remy.
What's up?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How was the weekend?
Busy, as per Remy usual, I guess. It was very busy. So, how about yours?
It was not busy, as per the Mason usual. We had an event on Saturday that was actually fantastic, and I don't know if you have these feelings before we go out for an event, but there's always a little bit of pressure on hope somebody shows up for these, for these.
The weather
things.
Was awful.
It was a terrible weather day. Absolutely, it was a Saturday. In Waterloo, Illinois, we went to the opening of a new financial establishment. Mm-hmm. First Community has these branches everywhere, and they had Fredbird, and they had Louie, and they literally had a singer, and they had food, and they had a petting zoo.
Yeah.
And it's like you're going, oh man, I think this one's a good one. We can't fail here. They booked so much.
There's so much.
Just the people here working were going to make it look like there was a crowd. But then actual people came out and started hanging out with the alpaca and getting the balloons done. That was such a cool event because you never know the power. You want to show it? What do you got there?
It's loading from
okay.
the iCloud because that's how we live these days. We have to wait to get our pictures now. Here you go. Here's the most miserable alpaca.
It was cold and wet. It wasn't his fault. They literally brought a tent out for him, which was pretty cool. If honestly, they brought a tent out and moved it over on top of him. It did look very sad. Hello, Colleen. Hello, Tanya. Thank you and welcome to the Mundane Monday podcast, where we talk about our mundane weekend that's not mundane at all. Who has soaked alpacas and balloon animals, singers, Fredbird and Louie in a mundane weekend. That's why we do this podcast. I want to scroll back through my text messages so I can go into Friday. Keaton had parent-teacher conferences.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go. I can give you a little full report there as we go through the three teachers, but I have to scroll back up in several text messages.
Okay.
So while we do that, did you want to chat about your weekend? You want to talk about some of the other things you did? Because I know you had a charity event on Friday night. Is that right?
Yeah. I was asked to do to MC Night of the Rock Stars, which is an event that one of the Remax realty firms in town puts on every year for Cardinal Glennon and St. Louis Children's Hospital, essentially who was benefiting the Children's Miracle Network and Shriners Hospital, both of which we help out. Bud and Broadway do their Toys campaign for the Shriners Hospital. We, of course, Mason and I have been super heavy into Children's Miracle Network over the years. So great organizations. I wasn't sure what to expect with this event. You never really know what you're walking into for a first-time event and for charity. This event had 600 people.
You had said that they knew, and mind you, this is our perspective. So usually we're emceeing these things, which you were, right? Mm-hmm. You said they knew how to treat an MC.
Yeah.
Right?
It was super interesting, and it was fantastic. So mind you, there were 600 people here. I was a little taken aback by that. Wasn't sure how many people to expect. And then they started treating me like an MC should be treated, which is a phenomenal experience. Normally what happens is they're like, here's your script, here's a microphone, and then you get up there and then women and men come up to you and they're like, hey, can you mention the silent auction, please? Hey,
you're actually lucky.
Can you mention the wine pull? Hey,
you're actually
there's
lucky.
A barrel of booze over here. Can you mention that too, please?
To get a script, you're lucky to get a script.
Yeah,
first off, as you just kind of went by that is a key point that is often left out.
Yeah, well, so I'm getting to that for sure.
Already doing it right. I'm on your side.
So normally you're doing all the housekeeping announcements. I didn't have to do any of that. Mike was the lead singer of the band that was playing, and he did most of that, and he kind of did all the housekeeping stuff, which was fantastic. So my only job as the MC of the night was to read the children's stories. There were 12 kids, each had their own unique story, and the way that this night works is, you'd read a story, welcome up the child to the stage, and the band would play a song, and the child would be able to dance or sing or play an instrument or whatever to that song and kind of have their moment.
That's cool.
They are the rock star. They have a manager, which is one of the members of the Remax team, and then they also have a sponsor. Jason Isringhausen was there, former Cardinal pitcher, and it was a lot of fun. We'd do 3 children would come up, they'd perform, There was a live auction, live auctioneer. Shout out to Adam. He was amazing at that. It was just a well run night. And then they were like, this is the highlight of the night. They were like, hey, we're going to take a 10-minute break in between when we get the show started and all the opening remarks. Go eat.
They said take some time to eat.
They said eat. And I had a plate and a chicken and some beef, and it was fantastic. And it was a good night. It was a good night. So, and one of our greatest friends of all time, Ashley and Jared, who adopted their son at 23 weeks. He was born at 23 weeks and 5 days, which is an insane premature birth. And he survived everything, all odds stacked against him, and he has completed milestone after milestone, and he was a little stud out there.
He looked great in his little tux.
He sang Taylor Swift, which is
his,
always playing in their household
definitely,
because Ashley is the biggest Taylor Swift fan.
His mother's child, definitely, right? Yeah.
So it was a good success. We all got to dress up fancy. It was one of those. It was a black tie event, kind of. I mean, I guess I wore a gray suit, but I only have one suit because I wear hoodies normally every day.
Violation. Don't let him in.
But Lauren looked amazing.
Have a suit. I don't have a suit.
You don't?
No.
It's all right. You don't need one.
Well, I mean, like we were up for an
there's
award.
like an events like these.
No, my biggest stress in life was we were up for a CMA, and what if we win? I have to actually buy a suit, which costs money. I don't have any money. Yeah. Like I don't have a suit.
And they're freaking expensive too. Right. And if you go to any place and get a suit, it will it's gonna run you like $200 or $300, and then they try and get you on shirts. And then I think my last time I bought a suit, which was 6 years ago, 5 years ago, I walked out of Men's Warehouse or wherever I was with like $800 in shirts and ties and everything. It's like it's almost as bad as a car dealership where they try and upsell you on your way out.
When we would go,
I just want a suit, but if you buy a suit, you can get another one for half off.
Free pants, man.
Yeah, you need the pants.
Oh, that's stupid.
But it was a good night out with Lauren. She had a blast, loves to get dressed up, all that kind of stuff.
That's nice.
We had the event on Saturday, which was rainy and cold, and but thankfully lots of people showed up, balloon animals, all that kind of stuff. We ran some errands yesterday. I went to Home Depot, went to the fish store because the fish store and Home Depot share the same parking lot. So secret, if you ever have to take anything back to Home Depot or you got to get something for the house, that's my way out of the door. And then the fish store is just in the same parking lot. I love you, Lauren.
This only comes up because he knows she's not watching.
Yeah, well, she might be. She might be today. Emerson's in preschool. So Trunk or Treat was fun. We went out to it's called Happy Hooves Equine Rescue. They have 27 horses out there that they've rescued. They also have chickens, and it's a farm.
But then, you guys all lined up your cars and opened
trunks?
No,
and that was the thing, was I wasn't sure what to expect, and we had like 5 bags of candy, and we were prepared to dress our car up and everything, and then our friend Aaron was like, no, you guys are just participating, so we didn't have any of the pressure of that, so we just kind of walked around. The kids got candy, they got to hang out with horses, and really cool farm. What they do there is they'll rescue horses that may have cancer, or horses that are mistreated, or people that decide they want a horse and then can't take care of the horse. It can end up at this place. So it's nonprofit, and these guys do pretty amazing work. And of course the kids had a blast. Yesterday the weather was fantastic. It was like a fall day. It's, 63, 64 degrees outside. We had great lighting for Instagram pictures, and that's always fantastic when you want a highlight reel of your life. This
is very important.
But no, it was a lot of fun. The kids had a lot of fun. They didn't get as much candy as what I'm assuming what will happen on Thursday for Halloween, but that didn't matter because they still ate it all, and they were still hopped up on sugar all night long. So mission accomplished for the candy for sure. So that was kind of my weekend. How was yours?
I don't know.
Did you find the text?
Oh, yeah. I got it.
Okay, cool.
I'm ready to go. I'm sorry. I was just taking a picture for our Instagram, letting people know we're doing this. It's coming up. Your story, I've had pretty much the opposite experience as you've got candy, and I've had none. I've had 0 candy. I'm at
you've been trying to stay away from it, right?
I'm at 0 Halloween candy this Halloween season. Yes.
Have you been in the kitchen yet?
Here?
Yeah.
No,
there's
man.
pizza in the kitchen.
There's always food here.
Trying to torture us.
This is the hardest place to work. Everybody's like, "Oh, radio is such a cool job," and they're like, "You guys want some barbecue?"
Yeah. There's barbecue. There's taco bar. There's pizza.
It's Monday morning.
There's cake. There's there's the food from listeners.
No. Okay. Nurse Barb is a saint.
Nurse Barb is a saint, and Nurse Barb is the only food, really, that I'll eat.
She brings snacks and has for years, as far as I know, for a lot of folks, a lot of the staff here. And they're all still alive, so I trust it. But she, for our birthday and for the nomination, she brought like Rice Krispie treats in. She brought a whole platter when the station won. She's just a very nice woman who used to work in what I believe was a cancer treatment office, and she just retired. So, and delicious snacks. I know my wife also loves them as well. But yeah, no Halloween candy since I saw it come out into the stores in March. And and until now, I know that my wife is like, let's get ice cream tonight, and I'm like, okay, look, Annie's frozen custard's some good stuff.
Yeah,
we'll get it. But I have not bought a bag of candy yet because I know that bag of candy will not make it to Halloween. But at this point, I might be ready. I went grocery shopping yesterday. As you were showing your pictures from your weekend, I was gonna show you mine, which was, is this the right frozen corn? Those are the pictures on my phone.
Oh, gotcha. You're talking about, so you send them back to Alicia, she approves, then you purchase. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm like her own personal shipped or what do you call it? Instacart.
Yeah, Instacart.
Yeah.
Shipped Instacart.
But I haven't had any, and I don't know if we're going to have any. It's up to Alicia if she wants to open up the doors for the kids to go trick-or-treating. Because by the time I get home from work, it's 7 p.m. It's going to be dark outside. She's going to be there alone. She doesn't like who would, being a 5-foot nothing girl going like opening up the front door with my light on going, hey, anybody want to come in? She doesn't exactly feel safe and secure just there by herself. So I don't know if she would like to or if she has a plan to. But I just went grocery shopping last night. Don't plan to again until after Halloween.
No candy.
So she might be on her own. I don't know. It's up to her. I just don't want it. Look, I was a former fat guy. Don't want those snacks around. Also, in hitting 40, we both realize that we're getting older and not getting smaller, and we want to do better. And we talk about not having these things in the house. We talk about not eating these things so much, eating better. But then occasionally, we can do like some Annie's or something. You know what I mean?
There you go.
A little frozen custard. Yeah. But we can't have a bag of candy just hanging out. We don't do enough. We don't have enough. We don't want enough. That's me. And if she said otherwise, she hasn't been loud enough about it because she hasn't spoken up and said that she wanted something. But besides that, she was with Keaton this weekend. We had an event, so I was just kind of laying low, but he had parent-teacher conference on Friday. Did you go with your parents to parent-teacher conference?
No.
No?
I don't ever remember. He's in high school, right?
Yeah,
I don't ever remember doing parent-teacher conferences in high school.
Well, they have where you set up an appointment with 3 teachers, and he's got pretty much all Bs, all Bs and maybe an A or 2.
Yeah.
So we're not upset or worried about him. His teachers, I'm going, they're going to tell you he's a great kid. She got a little anxiety, Not only do you have to see his dad again, which is, not usually the...
It's awkward.
It's not the less stressful experiences of throughout the day, But it went well, was my understanding. And from what I understand, she met with the algebra teacher. And I want to say, boo algebra. Algebra says Keaton could benefit from a little extra help in asking questions. But it was I had the same problem. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, I get that. Thanks. And you're like, wait.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
Yep, you'll figure it out later, and you don't ask questions
because
you don't want to.
And that's they said that he could benefit from that, and I think the Spanish teacher is similar in that, and he's not as confident in his Espanol. I don't think. At least I've never heard him speak in Spanish. He's never mentioned Spanish, but the Spanish teacher said that, he's got a B right now, but if he slips up and misses one quiz, that could easily move to a C.
Yeah, he's right on the cusp.
Right.
81%.
I don't know what the Spanish word for cusp is.
Cuspe.
Un poquito español. But otherwise, she came away with mostly positive reviews from the teachers. They say he's a likable kid. You know what I mean? He's not bad in class. He's not disruptive. He doesn't listen, or he doesn't not listen. He doesn't. He has a phone, and he's not on it. My biggest fear was giving him a phone and him being told you can't have a phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we want to be able to talk to him, especially when he's with his dad. He's at his dad's. We don't have a direct line. Imagine not having a direct line of communication with your son or daughter.
Yeah, that would be good.
So we bought him a phone. Dad was like, I'm not doing it. You know, it's like, well, I'll do it because we want to be able to get a hold of him whenever. And then you text him and he doesn't text back because he's 14. Anyway. But the global studies teacher was the other one. And she said it was good. I mean, it seemed to go well. That they even talked about him possibly getting into extracurriculars. So when they were like, you know, it looks good to colleges. And, of course, I'm the guy that goes, does he want to go to college? Mm-hmm. We should probably ask him. You know what I mean? Before we start telling him what to do on our plan for him, we should probably get his feedback. Because if he wants to, I don't know, go to art school or pursue, you know, a craft that isn't just college, you know, I would like to give him that opportunity.
Those are the two things in high school I wish I would have done. I wish I would have asked more questions.
Yeah.
I literally would have been with the algebra teacher every single day.
Sure, me too, dude. I never got out of algebra in high school.
The other thing was extracurricular activities. I always played baseball. I played baseball freshman through senior year, and I was always doing sports. However, I didn't really get into extracurriculars. I got onto student council when I was my second semester junior year, and absolutely loved it. There's someone playing music. I absolutely loved it. You know, just being around the people and.
I don't want to get stuck with a copyright problem
because I don't think so. It's too muffled.
The neighbors playing music, but all right. But yeah.
So I
never did either. I never had extracurriculars.
Even college aside, like I don't even think that my parents were like, you need to get into extracurriculars because it looks good for college. I think you want to do it just for
the experience,
relationships and having something extra. I was on like the dance committee, and what was my other one? Oh, school beautification. So I wasn't even on like. The cool ones. I guess dance committee was kind of fun, but the student council would throw a couple dances a year, and one of them was MORP, which I don't think they do anymore. It's prom spelled backwards. It was a blacklight dance. It was essentially a high school version of a rave.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I get it now. Yeah, sure.
And I don't think that happens anymore because of that. All of the things associated with raves.
Nothing happens at school anymore. Everything's offensive.
Yeah, but I don't, and I'm not at this point with my kids' lives, but. I don't know how much you can suggest that as a parent to be like, hey, you need to, or hey, you should think about or hey, what about if you got into something? You know what I mean? Like,
well, we have talked with him about that. He was kind of interested in the drama side of things. Like he liked performance and acting, and he's taken drum lessons and he had trumpet for a while, so he's got some basis there if he wanted to build on it. But it's picking a focus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he even talked about, this is interesting, that his school has a esports club, like where they might compete amongst each other or with other schools for that kind of thing. And that's right up his alley. But it also requires commitment and dedication, which I don't know if he has yet, because what he's really committed to and dedicated to is staying the night at his friend's house on the weekends right now. That's all he wants to do. Yeah. Like he didn't have school Friday. They had parent-teacher conference Thursday night to Friday. Can I go stay at my friend's house? Sure. He comes back home the next day. Hey, can my two friends come over and stay the night? Like, come on, bro. Like, let go of your, like, for a minute.
Friends are life in high school.
Are they, though? No, but it's...
I don't know how much I...
Do you want to teach that to your kids?
I don't know how much I stayed over at friends' houses in high school.
I'm friends with 0 people from high school still.
It was... it always ended up being like, we're, hanging out all day, and then let's just get a pizza, and hey, does your mom care? Does your mom care? And we'll just hang out all night. And usually, my friends were within a regional geographic location, like walking distance to my house. So it wasn't too weird to stay over if Jacob was right down the street or Adam was right around the corner. I just don't know how much I actually remember staying the night at friends' houses. So I don't know. We'll see. That music is distracting. But if we were to open the door, like that'd be really loud.
I'm going to check it out. Let's go.
Maybe they're trying to drown us out. Oh, it's not. So Mason is out in the hallway right now. I'm 100% sure that because we're talking loudly in this room, they're trying to drown us out with the music. That would be my guess.
I have an answer.
Okay.
I have an answer, and I'm not allowed. I have an answer, and I'm not allowed to pursue turning it off. 2 doors down is our new operations manager, Tommy, the guy.
This is new music.
This is new music. So he has a record guy in there. His door is closed, and Tommy has for 20 years run 105.7 The Point. So when the record people come to town, they're like, "Let me play you some music, man. You got this station is a huge station for us."
This must be a 5-minute song.
So yeah, they're playing some new music for him. I did think it was the people next door, and I thought maybe we were being loud, and I could say, hey, we could calm it down. I'm sorry if we were too loud, but it's definitely, yeah. No, his door is closed, and it's definitely from the boss's office. So carry on.
Please carry on.
Carry on.
We like our jobs.
Well, listen, no, we are recording from our office, so we shouldn't expect it to be anything but office noise, which is a radio station office. So.
Yeah.
But look, the update from the homestead for me, Alicia's back this weekend in Glen Carbon. I'm excited to hang out with her, catch up, and you know, I saw this. I said the World Series is happening and hockey is happening, and I am not watching anything really. I'm just so detached a lot of the time, like just face down in whatever I'm doing and making, and it's easier that way. I don't have to get caught up in the emotional roller coaster of politics or whatever is happening. You know, that's just how I function.
Tarasenko's out for 5 months.
Yeah, and that's another reason that I cannot focus on things. But I appreciate you. I like that I get to fly, and then you take missiles and shoot them at me. I'm like, I'm enjoying not dealing with the emotional. Tarasenko's out for 5 months. I'm wearing a Blues hat.
You mean you know that? You knew that already, or? I mean, you're going to find out. You might as well find out from me.
I knew he was injured. I knew that you came in a minute ago and said it not long ago.
Yeah, John Kiowski, our GM here at the station, is like going around the hallways like, what are we going to do?
I just gave him a fist bump in the hallway a couple minutes ago, and it hurt. He stopped and he did one of these, and I was like, oh, hey. And I may have come in too heavy.
Oh, you came in too hot.
I definitely came. He definitely stopped, and I was like coming in, and
We're getting fired for broken fingers today.
That won't be it if we're getting fired today. Don't make me. Last time I said something about us getting fired, we actually got fired.
Yeah. Let's not talk about that.
No, I think that's good. We had a good weekend, and as usual, what is not exactly for us is just an average weekend.
Yeah.
But it's not exactly an average weekend for anybody else. If you know what I'm saying.
I'm excited for the next weekend. You've got a remote, right?
What's that?
I've got a remote.
Where's that? What is this weekend?
Yeah, this weekend.
Do we? This is about right after we finish here is when I'll catch up on what's going on. I was just thinking that I don't think I do have, but you're right. I think I do now that I just picked one up.
You have one on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I've got one on Saturday.
Zips Car Wash, and you're at the new
Columbia Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
I passed it.
You did pass it. And then you also passed my house.
Did I?
Because I live on that over there in Columbia's.
I wasn't sure exactly where it was. Exactly. My wife is sending me construction problems from the highway.
Oh.
And she says pee pee poo poo.
Pee pee poo poo.
Yeah.
Construction.
Means not good.
Is that Pontiac?
Thumbs down.
That's north.
Yeah, no, I think
that's
you're
north.
right.
That's north. That's
Springfield.
Chicago. Springfield, yeah.
Yeah, Springfield. It's like
55, y'all. Although the Poplar Street Bridge is now the issue.
That's where my wife is.
They're closing down a couple lanes for the next month.
All right.
The Poplar. And my road in front of my house is being tore up. They are putting a new water main in on the road that runs in front of my street.
Do you have periodic shutoffs?
Not yet.
No.
But I'm assuming that's coming.
Yeah.
It's got to, because they're just upgrading the water main.
Boil order.
The farmer, they're ripping up the farmer's land like in front of his house, and
every day in America.
Lots of trees are being uprooted, and I guess I was talking to my neighbor yesterday about the moles.
Got the moles ripping up the farmer's land.
And he was like, "Yeah, I talked to the farmer, and he said that he was okay with them ripping up his trees because he was gonna have to cut them down anyway. I guess his heat is wood burning. Like, he's got a wood burning. So he's like, heck yeah, just take them down, whatever. I'll
leave
chop
them
up.
Leave them over there. Yeah, don't take them. Don't take them. Just don't take them.
So
that's funny. All right. Well, you want to wrap this thing up then?
Let's wrap it up.
Figure when we get into talking about traffic and the weather, it's a good place to end.
That's part of the big three.
I appreciate everybody who always pops by on Mondays at 11 a.m. Central to be a part of our Facebook Live Mundane Monday podcast to recap the weekends. If you ever want to stop by, feel free. Just like us on Facebook. You'll find it there. And also on our YouTube channel, you can subscribe, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and the Snaps. I'm at Mason Show.
At Remy Radio.
And we appreciate you listening on Podcast One, our home, wherever you find podcasts. You can download the Mason and Remy Show podcast. Find everything from the show there. Thanks for watching. Okay, we'll see you. Goodbye.